Hello everyone, welcome back to another Trevor Zane Let's Play video, and today I'm doing a challenge inside of Minecraft. It's called the Mesa Challenge, and I'm going to take credit for this, but I'm sure there's some out there. But basically, it's set up to where you have to survive here in the Mesa. Excuse me. And in Minecraft, the Mesa is actually pretty hard to find. But if you ever play in the Mesa, it's really barren, as you can see. That over there is part of one of the missions that's going to come up that I'm going to have to do. And basically it's really barren and it's hard to survive out here because of the lack of resources. Now, granted, there is a lack of resources, but I have placed some inside of the map that I'll have to find later. And it's set up like a skyblock challenge, but rather than being in the sky, we're here in the Mesa, and we are given a few extra things to start this off, and it's mainly to make it a little bit easier. If you want to copy this, go ahead and feel free to do so, and you can change whatever you want. It's not going to hurt me any, but we are given an iron sword to start, a map, and some food, as well as some chainmail armor. And that's mainly because instead of having to make a cave here at the very beginning, it's not meant to make a cave. It's meant to survive out here. And there are rules here, and we'll stop at each one and I'll briefly describe it. There is one patch of grass that you can use that's that is placed in the world, and it's fenced off and it's for a farm, but other than that I can't use any other grass. Oh, there it is. I forgot that I put it up there. Okay, now use supplies and chests only when needed, and that basically means that if it's part of a mission, that's the only time you can use it. And basically this is redundant. It says this again just to make sure that you clarify that. There's also a dungeon in this map, and basically if you find it, then go ahead and go in it. Follow each mission, but it's basically self-explanatory. And I can't dig down, but I can dig across. So as long as it's not on the floor, I can dig across with free reign, and I hope it's not getting dark, because I just started. Do not remove torches from this wall. That's self-explanatory. Do not destroy the wall, so you can't take the stone. Mine ore deposits only when on ore mission. I spelled win wrong, but that's mainly because I didn't have enough space. But I did put ore out in this map that we can go find, and it's basically all clumped together. The market can be accessed after the first 3 missions, and the market's going to be pretty easy to find after mission 2. And then it gives a few hints. And ore missions are easier at night, or spelt wrong again. That's mainly for space. That's mainly because I put a torch next to each one, just a single torch, and it's normally on the back side of it, so it's harder to see but still visible. Hint, while wood is limited, clay is abundant. So you can see there's tons of clay here. So it's basically saying if you need to build something, build it out of clay instead of wood. It'll be easier. Rule 5 is probably impossible, which is there's a dungeon, and that's mainly because you can't dig down. And making a farm is easy. Go past this, and that's basically where we seen earlier, where this little fenced off area is. But the first mission is easy. It is build a house that you would enjoy staying in. So I'm going to have to build a house that I'm going to have to enjoy staying in. So basically by enjoy staying in, it means that it needs to be a house that has all the necessary tools in it and look presentable. So I can't just build some random clump of whatever is in it. And before I started gathering this wood, I should have went over something real fast, but that's alright. We'll go over it after this, and I'll be able to explain all of it. It has to do with a chest that was described inside of the rules. And I'm already getting sort of hungry, which may end up being a problem for me later on in the night. But as of right now, I'm not really going to worry about it too much. And I definitely want to keep a piece of wood, mainly so I can use it for charcoal. And we'll just put this over here. Now, I should be able to make some sticks and a pickaxe so that I can start making my house. And I need a pickaxe so I can get some of this. I plan on making an adobe. And like I said, I'm going to go over here and describe this chest. Basically, this has a lot of materials in it that I'm going to have to use for each mission, minus the saplings and the gardening plants. Those can be used whenever, but like the spawn eggs, the grass, the sand, the obsidian, and the cactus, those will all have to be used later on in a separate mission. And I think it's great to make an adobe out of the materials that are seen in the mountains here, and that's mainly because it kind of blends in with its surroundings so that it's harder to see. Now granted, I'm playing on single player, and there's not going to be any other people playing, so they won't be able to come and grief my home and steal my resources. But I think it works a lot better than just doing a normal wooden house out here. I think it looks much more presentable. Now, even though that this clay underneath me is not orange, which is representative of the ground, I still can't mine it out because it's considered the floor level. But it should be alright. I highly doubt that my house is done by the time nightfall comes, but we're definitely going to try to do as much as we can. And I actually think that adobe would look better with this yellow brick, well, this yellow stained clay. But as you can see, it's harder to come by around here, while this other material, this brown or pink or whatever freaking color they call it, is easy to find. So I'm going to stick with this brownish pink type of material, and I'll probably add some yellow and red in with it, so it kind of helps it be more distinctive while still blending in somewhat with the surroundings. And one of the reasons why I want it to blend in with the surroundings is because I'm going to make a 7 days to die not tutorial, but a let's play. And one of the things that is highly recommended when you play an online game, especially one like 7 days to die, is that you be harder to notice than you typically would be, because it's an online game. If you played what's it called, I'm trying to think of the name of it, DayZ. Yes, if you've played DayZ, it's very similar to DayZ. And if you haven't played DayZ, it's a zombie apocalypse game where you try to survive as long as you can. And oh dear, a creeper. Luckily, I haven't really built anything, so I can't really come over here and blow up too much. However, I don't want it to cause any harm to myself. So we're going to start off, and we're just going to build the entrance of the house right here. There is some glass, not some glass, but some sand that can be used for my house, for the windows. And that's mainly to make it more presentable. I wish that would have dropped a bow, but that's okay. But it's mainly to make it look more presentable so you can say, this is a house that I could see myself living in. And basically, God, I'm trying to make a little foyer, I think is what they freaking call it, a foyer. But I'm trying to make one of these right here, beginning, so you have this nice little area to walk into. And I don't want it to be too large, mainly because it doesn't need to be. Now, as you can see, if you've played a Skyblock challenge before, this is a little bit easier than a Skyblock challenge, mainly because there's more resources that you can use for your house and your structures. But I promise you that it will be a challenge if you turn the resources down some. I'm gonna have to get rid of all of this, and it's pretty high. And the good thing about making an adobe is normally adobes are not what am I trying to say? Normally adobes don't have a roof that is peaked. So that being said, I don't have to make a roof that goes slanted, much like a gable or a hip roof, but it can be a flat roof and still resemble a livable house. And I really want to limit the amount of sand that I have to use because I'm going to need it later to make a farm. And that's basically mission 2, which is when you have to make a farm. You have to make a farm of each of the seeds that you're given. So like a pumpkin, a melon, a wheat, a cactus, not a cocoa farm, mainly because you have to make an orchard for that, which I believe is mission 3. I'm not 100%. I'll have to check back. I actually think it's mission 4. I'm not 100%. And these mesas are just entirely tall. Like they have such a large peak to each one of them, and it's very easy to go up there and try to start from the top. and fall off and die. Just gonna have to hit that with my map until it backs off. And when I place the market, which is, it's basically a small little building with a bunch of villagers in it, but they can sell you goods. I know that one of them requires raw flesh, and I really don't want to move over there too much. As you can see, there's tons of mobs out here. And I'm just going to do this by hand just so I don't have to keep running back and forth. I don't know if that's a smart decision or not, because that took forever. And I have no idea why I said it like that. That took forever. I'll try not to do that in the future. I sound like a blonde from like a 90s movie that takes place in Hollywood. That's exactly what I just sounded like. And you can kind of see why an iron sword would be needed here, mainly because there's just so many mobs that are being spawned. And I really need to eat. Oh dear. I'm more worried about one of them falling from the top of one of these hills rather than approaching me directly like it just did. Now, since I made the map, I know what missions are coming up. So I kind of have an idea for what I want to put in each room as I'm building it here. And this chainmail armor hasn't really benefited me too much. As you can see, there's just tons of mobs out here, and it's extremely dangerous here at night. And I am about to die. But the good thing about there being so many mobs out here is that my level is going to increase, so when it's time for me to be able to enchant something, I'll be able to do so fairly easily. So this is somewhat like my adobe is going to look. As you can see, there's more on this side, and it's going to have a reason for it. Hopefully my math is right and I get it done correctly. My math is not right. I just did a quick little thing in my head. So here we go. This should be correct. And I'm out of hardened clay. But that being said, I think this is a good time to leave off from this video. I want to thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this challenge so far, please comment that you did so. If you like this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe so you can keep up to date with my videos. You can follow me on Twitter or PSN. You can check my old videos for that, and I'll describe it in those fairly easily. You don't even have to watch them. You can just go straight to where it says in the comments, and well, actually it's the description. I speak about it inside of my descriptions, so you can go straight there, find out what my Twitter name is, what my PSN name is, and you'll be able to follow me to keep up to date on each video that I put out. But like I said, I want to thank all of you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.